Yes, let's go.
All right. Hello, everyone. By everyone, I mean Dad. Um,
God damn it, dude! Like, why?
let me see. Today, on episode six,
Yes.
six of the Oceans Apart podcast, Artem is going to show his program off to everyone, and I don't know what's going to happen. We're probably going to talk about it. He's probably going to get really upset and fly into a Swedish rage about something. But yeah, I mean, we'll just see what happens. Once again, thank you for tuning in. I want to thank Artem for being here, and after training Mass One, it takes a lot to record a podcast with someone like me after Mass One. So I just want to compliment him on his hat and his hair. I don't know what person he stole that from, but it's a good style. Here we go.
Well, are you talking about the hair or the hat or both of them?
Both of them.
Both of them. Well, I'm getting I'm cutting myself on Wednesday next week, man, because like the hair is too long. Like it's just a shit show.
Wow,
So
you're Clayland.
yeah, dude. Like honestly, man, because it's just like I can't stand this. It's like too much. It's high maintenance. Maintenance. Yeah.
Maintenance.
Yeah. That's the word I'm looking for.
I'm sure the wife loves it though.
I don't know, man. Honestly, I don't care if the wife loves it or not. I don't like it. So like,
All right.
well, should we just take a start with this then, or what?
Yeah. Start sharing your screen with me. I'll just yell any questions I have at you.
Okay.
Well,
Is it sharing or no?
yes, it's sharing.
Okay.
I can see
All right.
myself. Wow, that is a lot of me.
Wait. Yeah, there we go. Okay, here we go. Can you see this?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. Well, off the top, do you have any questions, or should I just like start like explaining, and then you want to ask some questions?
Just you just start nah. You just start explaining, and I'll jump in.
Okay, sounds good, man. Well, anyhow, so this is a 4-day program with the fourth day being kind of like more as a bonus day in case that she wanted to do it or like she had the time to do it. And this is like what was she? She's like is a female around like 55 years old, I believe. Pretty active, like no really big like issues or anything like that. She just like basically came in saying that she wanted to kind of get like her body bath that she had when she was younger, kind of like lift up the butt a bit, tone off some fat. And she was also having like kind of some knee issues, so kind of like maybe addressing that as well. So basically, day one, what I decided to do was like I said, this is like the first, like this is like week one, like straight up, like she's just showing in. So like I decided to do kind of more just like a full body, like all 3 days are kind of like just full body, like going through the motions. This is also after doing a function analysis, kind of seeing how she moves, and I decided to go with these ones. So like the first one is leading med ball chest pass and combining that with box jumps. So
And
kind of
she's
like
in. Is she in tall kneel or full kneel for the kneeling?
tall kneel.
Okay.
So like both knees down, just like so like tall upper body on both knees, just from like chest here, boom, exploding
Yeah.
out.
I think I meant half kneel or tall kneel, but
Yeah. No, I got you.
whatever.
Yeah. But then yeah, I know with the box jump, not to like think that it's like any high jumps. It's just like kind of pretty small little box, just working on that like explosiveness, having her do some of that as well. And then for second one is the half kneeling overhead med ball throw. So that's like half kneeling, so one knee down over your head, boom, throwing it again like that. Combining that with squat jumps, and I decided to go with squat jumps instead of split squats. And like I didn't write it here as well, but that she resets each one. So like she'll do a squat jump, reset, do it again. Just because like, I decided to do squat jumps instead of like any like lunges or anything, because again, she was having like problems with her knees. So I wanted to kind of work more on like landing mechanics, like jumping up, landing properly, resetting, doing it again. And then the push up, I threw it in. Again, to kind of get some upper body, kind of going from the kneeling med ball chest pass where it's like first she's like on her knees and now it's becoming almost the same thing, but now we're like engaging like the whole body on the floor. And then I finished off day one with some basically core, some anti-rotation, which would be progressed, but and then just a full plank, just holding it. Like I said, 5 breaths, 2 sets, and then like working that up. So yeah, that is day one. If you have any questions,
I do have many questions.
oh, please address.
The squat jumps and box jumps didn't hurt this lady's knees at all?
No.
Really?
No, yeah, because the things like I said again, it's like she wasn't having any like major issues with the knees. It was kind of just more, from what I understood, like her explaining it, like she had been on vacation and like, or at least like skiing and like they'd done a lot of it. It's just like all of a sudden, so it was more of her, was it like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like basically going through the same pattern like over and over. So it's like overtrain. Yeah, kind of not really overtrained, but like overuse the muscles a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's like, because looking through everything, like there was no issues at all with that. So that's kind of why like she didn't say anything about the box jumps and squat jumps. So was no issues at all there.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like this day. A lot of power involved. I'm glad that you include a lot of power after a conversation we had in the past.
No, honestly, man, I was thinking about that as well, just because, like, again, she's like for being 50, I believe she's 55, maybe 56, but like, that's kind of like my mom's age, and like, if you had to compare the two, like, she's way more fit than my mom. Like, she can actually, like, like
Wow,
my mom not be able to, like, huh?
Just crap all over your mom.
No, it's like I'm not trying, to trash talk my mom or anything like that, but it's like, for example, again, like with the box jumps and squat jumps, she had no issues with doing that like at all. Like, she was even excited to do them. Like she likes to push herself. That's because like she's done it in the past. So I think like also like her in the past, being very active also helps in that she was more willing to kind of buy into all this, because I feel like if I started off like much easier, that would have been like almost way too easy for her, and like just like there's no really point of kind of wasting time that way. So it's kind of like doing fundamentals, but also pushing a little bit like on it and kind of working them the first 4 weeks, and then like after that you would progress into kind of more functional. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like it.
Okay.
Good, it's good stuff. And I mean, we might as well, because I don't think, well, no one knows why we're saying, oh, this previous conversation we had, and then laughing. Like, it's because
honestly, I don't remember, so like you can tell, because I don't remember like, what happened.
Well, we were in a class called Exercise Testing and Prescription.
Yeah.
Which basically, I'm actually looking at the ACSM guideline right now as I'm sitting here, because the book is like right over there, in the campus bookshelf. But it's basically like a class to learn the ACSM guidelines for exercise. And Artem and I were in the class together, and he gets up there and does a presentation on I think a hypothetical client that we had to do.
Yeah.
And you didn't like do any power exercises or something like that. And like we had been going back and forth about like questions we were going to ask each other just to like try to get the other to like crack under pressure. Yeah. And so I told you that I was going to ask you about power exercises and see if you could come back with something. And then when I did, you were like, well, I mean, it's not really necessary, but I could do that. And then like maybe the next lecture or something like that, or like maybe even that class, the professor gets up there and is like, I mean, I think that something we all need to take into account is we need to include power exercises, because you don't think about it, but power for old people is standing up out of a chair. And I just gave Artem the look, and we both just started crying and laughing in the middle of class because I just freaking wrecked him. And that's why we're laughing when we look at power exercises now.
Mm. No, but honestly, it's true because like I will admit it. Like I used to think of like a power exercise, not really fitting for the elderly population.
Yeah.
I'd say I'm like 45 plus, just because it's kind of this like this whole thing where people think that they're just too fragile and like you can't really do stuff like that with them. But it's complete opposite. Like you need to do that. It doesn't have to be this crazy stuff. It's like something simple with just um for example like squat jumps or like even working eccentrics. And it's like something simple. It's like you're working the explosive motion. It's like again, it doesn't have to be like anything too fancy. Just like something very simple, light weights, and then depending on how it looks, you can maybe progress it, increasing the weight or moving to a different exercise. So it's like.
Yeah, med balls I think are so money with older people.
Yeah, I totally agree, man. Because the thing is, like, I feel like they also love it a lot. Like, it's a simple thing to do,
Yeah.
and they love the like just incorporating that. Like everybody loves that, especially like the older population. Like, they just love that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'll tell a story out there for all trainers to hear if you are a trainer that I'm really embarrassed about, to be honest with you. So I don't think I've told you this ever either. So it was last semester when I was training Cindy, and it was like our second to last session or something like that. Like I had passed the class that had given me this lady as a personal training client. And you know how the med balls upstairs in the wellness center, they don't bounce at all, but the ones downstairs do. Like I think you know where I'm going with this, but I had her doing like side to side med ball slams to like make sure that she was getting like just one hamstring that was really absorbing the load. And so I didn't know that she had been training upstairs the whole time, and like didn't remember that the med balls downstairs. Like during her off days, she had been training upstairs with the med balls that don't bounce at all. And so we went downstairs, and I had her do like a side to side slam. She like looked straight down at the ground where the med ball was going, and it bounced up and hit her in the nose, and like caused zero damage to her face. But I was like so mortified because I just didn't realize that was gonna happen. So that was bad. So just be aware of that with clients, I think is the lesson learned here. So from now on, if I have a bouncy med ball, I'm going to say, hey, this med ball bounces. That's really the lesson learned from this experience. Yeah.
Dude, honestly, like, no, because I did the same thing with a client as well. Like, where like I demonstrated, with a med ball, like I did it, and then like the way I did is like I don't know like why they thought like it's not gonna bounce back. So like as soon as she does it, boom, first one hits her right in the face. But like she laughed it off as well. Like I was like oh shit, like she's like just laughing it off. I'm like she's like I'm generating too much power. Like why I'm like okay, yeah, whatever. Shut up and fucking do it.
Oh my god.
Like, but yeah, no, dude, but like I don't know, man, because like it was like a regular med ball you would use, like wherever. But like I don't know, it's like because like, sometimes when people throw them, they kind of lean forward too much with their body, like upper body, and then just even if it bounces like a little bit, it's like fucking they're like all the way down and then hits them in the face. It's
yeah.
I don't know.
It gets terrible, to be honest.
It can get ugly, but it's fun.
Whatever. Yeah, I mean it's a great exercise. They're great tools. Let's move on to day 2, for God's sake, before we convince everyone that watches this that we're terrible people and terrible trainers.
I think they already know, but okay.
Yeah, okay, that's a fair point.
Anyhow, moving on to day 2, we have goblet squats. Reason why I took goblet squats as well is because looking at her, like she was not even close to being like ready for doing barbell, like barbell squats like at all. Even like front squats, I wasn't like looking too good at all. So I was like decided to kind of just start with goblet squats, kind of get the pattern there. And then like I said, like kind of the first week would be like more just working the pattern, like kind of getting that. And then week 2, even though it's the same amount of sets and reps, you could increase the weight and then basically work from there. And same thing with lunges. It's working on the number like stability and also like testing her, like because she was also saying like how I believe it was. Yeah, I believe it was like when she was like going downstairs, like even like things like sometimes upstairs, like she could like feel her right knee a little bit. It was like
Yeah.
feeling like iffy. So trying to like replicate a little bit of that, first one just like a plain ground, and the two kettlebells deadlift. One is because we don't have a trap bar, otherwise I would use a trap bar to be honest. But I feel like also like even with the two kettlebells, it's a great way to really kind of just simply, not really have to do like too much coaching, like just kind of like have them imagine like, you're at the grocery store, you're picking up two bags. The only things that saves you to do that one in the beginning is kind of like imagine you have like oranges between your armpits and you want to squeeze them and then just drive through the ground. That's like the only two things, and then just see where it goes from there. And then again, like finishing off day two the same way as day one with like some core, some dead bugs and side planks. And to be honest, I'm not gonna lie, like doing the side plank that you do with Iron Sports, like I really like that one because like you feel it much better. It's like a much easier version to do. I feel like compared to doing like a if you want to do like say a full side plank, because I feel like that way people always what's the word compensate
Yeah.
somehow, so I feel like that version is much better, so that's kind of why I picked that one. And yeah, that's kind of day two, mate. So I don't know, any
Are they
questions?
they forward or reverse lunges?
Forward,
Okay.
because
I'm
I
like I'm so shocked this lady just doesn't feel any of this in her knee.
no, like I said, the thing is like I think it's kind of more just in her head, because like
Yeah.
to be honest, like it wasn't really like doing all this stuff. Like she just I don't know, like there was really no issue. Like sure, like I'd say like some days that she would come in like say like a week. I don't remember like exactly what the week was, but like she'd come in, and like she'd feel a little bit like she didn't like a little bit, but then like we would either just like cut down, like say when I do half the reps or like cut down like a set or something like that. Where but like other than that, it's kind of like usually she would come in like feeling great. But I feel like that's with everybody. You have days where you feel better and like, you can just do stuff without an issue, and other days like same thing is just something's like feeling a bit iffy, and that can be like loads of factors. Because like she even told me like when she comes in, she's like, yeah, I've been sleeping really badly like, these past 3 days, having a lot of stress. Like I have family coming here, so it's like maybe that's also kind of causing her to feel a little bit like when we're doing this, but then come back next week when she's had a great week of sleep, not
Mhm.
much stress, boom, like no issue at all. So it's kind of also hard. I don't know, maybe it could be an adaptation from the workout, or it's like just cutting down some of theirs. It's like it's hard to do. And again, I feel like it's really hard um, with her or any other of the clients that we have, at least like in our clinic, because like she's like one of the few that actually like, is kind of like a regular. Because most people that they just show up and then they go and then they may come back like maybe 2 3 times more, and then it's like that's it, they're gone. So it's like there's no really uh, consistency. It's like kind of more people coming if they have an issue, for example, and then once the issue is fixed, they're just like out. Or even if the issue is not fixed yet, if they don't have the money to pay for it, then it's just like you give them a program to do on their own, but I don't know like what's the uh, reliability that they're actually gonna do the program that you send them. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's hard. That makes it hard, actually. That's really hard.
Yeah, that's the thing too. That's kind of where I don't really like because when I'm working right now, it's not really like a you know strength conditioning facility or anything. It's like more of a physical therapist, chiropractic kind of facility where it's like, people with some issues. And I feel that's like really hard to know because um you don't I feel like because number one is like so expensive, so it's like hard to, really examine or kind of like see what's really like the deeper issue here. Because like one, it's pretty expensive and it's like, if you'd have to do something, you have to do it, like on your free time with them or something like that, and that's like also not
Yeah.
maybe the best thing. It's kind of like what you were talking as well. Where it's like if you could, you just do it for free, but you kind of have to also make a living. So it's like that's the thing too. It's like I'm not really a big fan of this, and I don't like this whole like delay like this. Like I prefer more kind of where either like you work with a sports team and you have specific, off season, preseason, in season, everything like that. or with like a client who's like a regular kind of comes in like that, and you have like a specific program with them. Because like this, it's like, are they gonna show up? Are they not gonna show up? How long are they gonna be here? And it's like, you don't want to put into that much work if they're not just gonna come back at all, So it's like,
Yeah.
it's a shit show, to be honest. Sometimes.
Yeah, that sounds terrible. To be honest with you.
It is, mate. It is.
Yeah, I mean, I was just gonna say something about the.
I know. I'm gonna.
I was gonna say something about the side plank here.
Okay, go ahead.
Which is that taking away, like full extension of limbs is amazing. Like if you could just take away, like someone having to bend their knee at all and like rely on having their heel on the ground, God, it's just an amazing thing. Like going on elbows instead of on hands, oh, even better.
Yeah.
Like it's just way easier for them to like actually control their MF and core as opposed to like anything else. And so like I use that often as a means of regression.
Mm.
And it's just like so great.
Yeah.
In my humble bad opinion.
No, but honestly, that's kind of what I said as well. Because like, again, like I feel because by doing that, you can really target and the specific muscles you want to like work, and you're basically putting in a more optimal state. That's basically what it is, and it kind of goes, yeah, like you said as well. It just gives for a lot of exercises, and I feel that's like where everybody probably can do like a side plank, with the arm and legs, everything like fully extended, all limbs. But it's again, like I was saying, like it's like they're probably compensating, and they're like, I can feel it, sure, but try doing this, like cut off, like going down elbows to the knees, boom, you're gonna feel much more. You're not even gonna be able to hold it for as long as you could properly, because like now you're not compensating, like now you're actually targeting the muscle itself. So it's
it's tough.
It is, man. Honestly, it's like you don't think so. You look at it, you're like, this is like way easier than the normal, but it's like, nah, it's actually harder, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, if you saw someone doing it, you wouldn't think it was nearly as hard as it actually is.
Yeah.
But it really do be like that sometimes.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on day 3 here, buddy.
All right, day 3, Baba. Well, day 3 starts off with some nice bench. Again, kind of like both, like, cause like again, like her saying, like with the butt, like she wanted like to get that back. I'm kind of thinking, I was like same thing with the bench, because like I feel like not to throw her body down or something like that, but it's kind of like just more keeping up that because I feel like a lot of women also like they don't try like do chest at all because they're really afraid of that like their breasts are gonna shrink or like become smaller. But that's like a bunch of BS. I don't know. You might disagree with me. No, okay. Well,
nope, not even a little.
No, okay. But that's like kind of maybe. So it's like it was kind of at least in the beginning, like I had to. It wasn't really that hard to convince her, but just like to explain to her like that no, like it doesn't actually like your breast is not gonna decrease, like that has nothing to do with this at all. And she was kind of like really buying into it really pretty quickly. But yeah, basically threw in bench just because again, I really wanted to work with her like all the 3 foundationals, so like the bench, squat, and deadlift. So that's kind of why I threw in bench on day 3, and then after that, step ups, kind of working again, where just doing body weight. The first, I think it's just body weight like the all 4 weeks because like really working on that. You don't really use the foot on the ground to push off, so you just kind of like just working the focus. So on the box and kind of taking yourself up like that, and yeah, and then throwing in hip thrusts and supersetting that with like dump the bucket, and like with dump the bucket is basically what it is. Just to kind of explain it, so it's like imagine you're sitting like on a bench and then you have 2 dumbbells in your hands on the side, and you pick them up, and then you come up, and it's like you're dumping the water behind you. So it's like you come into a
Oh,
flex position, so then you come back in. So it's like the dumbbell, you boom, come into a flex position. It's kind of like it's like there's a guy you're flexing in front of the mirror, but you're just like dumping the water, coming back in. That's basically what it is.
Okay.
So and yeah, hip thrusts, like no really, I didn't really explain it too much. Just a great for the hamstrings and glutes. Kind of as again like saying that she really wanted to work on like getting that butt lift, and like she even said thing around like week 3 or 4. She's like, oh my god, I can like I can already see how my butt is kind of. I think I talked about this like some previous episode as well about this lady about this stuff, but yeah, and then finishing off with the single arm row supersetting that with like kettlebell overhead carry, and it's kind of like same principle like with the dump the buckets. It's that kind of working the posterior chain with the single arm row, and like kind of getting her in the external rotation with the dump the buckets, and then with the single arm row as well, where it's like most people when they do it, it's like it's kind of like they do like a lawnmower motion, and like I want her to really control it. So like she just like start off like full just like with the slack, and then come like put herself into position like nicely at the scaps, and then boom, and then row, come back. And like if she could just like hold that position all the time, but if she needs to reset, like kind of like the arm lengthen a bit, and come back in position, boom, row again. And kettlebell overhead carry, just more like shoulder stability. Making sure like with the wrist when she's holding it, she's like holding a straight wrist, not really letting it bend backward or forward. So just like boom, working on like the basically stability in the wrists, shoulders, and the whole arm. And yeah, that's day 3.
I had a question. Do you guys have like the lat pull down machine at all in your gym?
No, we don't.
Because I was
Yeah.
like I was thinking about my program from last week too, and realized that like I don't really like I just looking at it, like I was just seeing like what I was missing, and like I kind of figured that I was missing I don't remember if I have her landmine press or not, but I feel like I did.
Yeah, you did. I think you did.
And I like, so looking at it, like I thought I was missing like a vertical pull, and like and the more I've thought about it since last time, like the more I feel like like if you don't have like a lat pull down machine, I feel like you're kind of missing out with people, and like that's the issue with a lot of gyms that are privately owned, is that like I kind of think that they laugh at the I don't even know what they're called, but like the Globo gyms that do have the lat pull down machines, because like bros are just like, check out my fucking lat spread here. Oh yeah. Oh, you seeing this? Are you seeing this, girl? Oh yeah. Oh, I can't walk through a doorway anymore. But it's like, I think that's a pretty good, I mean, at the very least, right? If someone has low back pain, you can actually have them squeeze the post that like your legs sit under.
Yeah.
And pull their heels towards themselves a little bit, and like kind of get their pelvis in a really excellent position to do some sort of vertical pull that's not a band assisted pull up. And I don't love the band assisted pull up because generally people just are in terrible positions doing it and use like way too much band resistance to make anything matter. Because I mean, like there were clients at the gym last summer that had, that were using like a black band paired with an orange band to help them do pull-ups or whatever, and then this summer I come back and they're using like a black band, and I'm like, wait, you just took off like basically zero assistance by taking off that orange band. Like, why aren't you using like a thick green or like maybe a red, like maybe like 2 reds right now, because you're doing 8 sets of 3, like not 10, like you're bouncing with that band. Like you could jump right now. So, I think that the lat pull down is probably an undervalued piece of equipment, actually, to get people to do a pull up or any form of vertical pull without back pain or or like to get abdominal activation while you're doing a pull, because it's not grip reliant, generally speaking. And you can add and take off resistance really easily, and you can track that pretty easily as well.
Yeah.
And so that's just something I had a thought of, because like I don't see any vertical pulling in here, and that's fine, but it's because it's not easily doable.
No,
And,
yeah.
and
Honestly, that's the thing too. Is like, to be honest, like if there was, because things like the only like thing I've like thought of like doing, but like I don't like doing it. It's like where you take like the rope, like usually people see, like you see them like dunking triceps.
yeah,
Like doing that, like sitting on the ground and doing like lat pull down like that. But I feel like that way, like it's just I don't think it's a good uh like a good replacement for the actual lat pull down. So that's like where I don't really do it with anybody. So that's that's like my motivation. The thing is like that's why as well, like the gym as well, it's it's pretty small. It's like really hard to like, figure some stuff out, so it's like very limited equipment you can use. It's like you have to really think like way outside the box and use like very simple stuff, and that's like where it's a good thing because it challenges you. But at the same time, though, I feel like it'd be great to have some more stuff. For example, like a lat pull down machine, that would be awesome. But fortunately, there isn't any. So like,
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't even. It's just hard without that,
yeah, I agree. I agree.
and like, whoa, excuse me. There's no like actionable way to track it, really efficiently if you're doing a band assisted pull up or like the banded lat pull down. It's like, well, last time you used the thick green, and like black is such a big jump.
Yeah.
That, you're gonna complain to me that it's way too hard. So I don't know what to do for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of hard.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to figure out a way around it, but there's people just, I don't know. It's challenging.
Yeah.
RDB, it's challenging.
Man. But honestly, I think even a machine where it's like, where it's like the little pad and you can put your knees on, like you do lap
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Even like having like one of those is good, but I think even that, like people abuse it as well. The same way they use it with the bats, they just like load it up pretty heavy, and then it's like just like they're like just because the thing like the weight just flies up that way, So it's like I feel that's like a good way as well, where it's like you can just go lighter, because then it's like you moving more of your body weight, because the lighter you go and like the weight's there, the more it's like you actually have to pull the weight up. It's not gonna fucking fly up.
So, yeah, that's a pretty good machine too, to be honest.
Yeah, honestly it is. It's like, but I don't know. Like I feel the other thing too is like I'm not gonna lie. Like when clients show up and it's like, I feel usually it's like actually both men and women, but it's like when they can't do a pull up, it's like again like I said, like because of this like so little equipment we have, I'm like always thinking like, what can we do to for this person to work to achieve to be able to do a pull up? Because like some people are like, yeah, I want to be able to do a pull up by the end of the summer or something like that, and I'm like. I would say it's a hard thing for me to kind of think of something that would be like good for them to do here. Like I can do them something to do like outside, like in their gym if they have something. But like with us, it's like we don't really have the greatest equipment to really work that. I feel, but
yeah, it's also tough just because like, do old women even need to do a pull up?
well,
like,
no,
like probably not. But on some level, like. If you can get them to like go into external rotation, this is internal rotation, but if you and then pull themselves into external rotation, with their shoulder, like as they're coming down, just like kind of do one of these, like, and you can't really see my elbow, but it's still like kind of internal rotation. But I don't know how I'm trying to I guess like if you had them go overhead, that would be external rotation of shoulder there. Yeah, like an overhead, like a neutral grip kind of thing. To really recruit. I think it's like subscap. I'm really not sure which rotator cuff it is, but the rotator cuff, because I'm that strength coach. Like if you can get them to go in external rotation overhead to recruit the rotator cuff musculature, then like I think you're improving. Then really I think you're getting into like improvements of quality of life there, because then they can be somewhat stable as they're reaching up to get their glass of milk, and it's not like, oh no, my shoulder just fell out of its socket. Oh, time to fire Artem because he sucks. And I hurt myself again.
Honestly, though, man, I've actually been only hurting people. I'm not gonna lie. Cause like I'm dead as like we have this thing. There's this app called Bruce,
Yeah.
and it's like people can go to different kind of like classes to do workouts, and like we
Yeah.
have Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and then there was like one dude who shows up. He's like, yeah, I haven't battled him with like kind of a lot of like injuries and stuff in the past, but I love CrossFit and I love really like going hard.
Oh,
So
geez.
I'm like, the first day that he shows up, like I have him do kind of like similar to what we did like Irish sports, like what you did with us. It's like
Yeah.
with the squats, the pulling like that, like the horizontal pull, and like just smashing on like push-ups like that. But like, I didn't do like exactly that. But I remember like I did squats, and there's like two more or something, and then I just like an active rest. But like the man, like his groin, I think on the left, like that was fucked. Like I could just see him walking. I'm like, well, I fucked up this guy. But still, like he's coming back. Like he's been coming back, And actually, like, but the thing is, like, he actually told me on Wednesday. He was like, I actually feel much better now. Like I feel like like I feel like shit after the workouts, but like I actually I'm like recovering much faster. But I also cut it down because like the first few times he came, like the first 2-3 times, it was pretty hard and intense. But like now, I'm like, nah, like we can't keep doing this because like even though it's fun for him and like I love doing it, it's like that's not really the best thing to do. So it's like I'm that guy who just doesn't give a fuck about people and just wants to do like a fun workout and just enjoy people suffering.
I mean, just to counter your story with my own, because that's what we're doing today. I did that to someone last summer totally by accident because we had just gotten a ski erg, and in an effort to make it non-sagittal, I tried to have him do it was like an alternating ski erg, and like just to try to get some rotation.
Yeah.
And like I had him put like a ball between his knees, like really plant his heels there, and just like go at like a nice light pace.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like the perfect client to do it because he had a heart condition where he couldn't go that hard anyways. So like I figured he would probably be able to do this well. And then I swear to God, the day after we did that, he was a guy who came in like every time the gym was open, like he would come in 5 to 6 days a week.
Mm.
And for like 3 days after that, we didn't see him. I was like, dude, is he dead? Like I was really worried. And then he comes in like 4 days later and just like how like on oh my god, that like every NFL show that they have like during training camp, like the players just like walk around with like ice bags on their body and they're just like stiffly like moving their whole body to move their legs.
Yeah.
That's kind of how this guy walked in, and he was like he was just like, I can't move. Like I can't sit down for very long. My back hurts so much.
Jesus.
and and so I just like completely injured this man. It's like because I had him do like some form of rotation, and then I had to do the most intensive PRI treatment I think I've ever had to do on a human being to get him to just like be able to flex his spine. Like when they say like flat, like just or not flat, just extremely lordotic lumbar spine, like this is who they're talking about. It was terrifying. Like my spine is fused and it moves more than this guy's does. Seriously, like it was terrifying. But we got there and he came back. So
That's fucked, man.
it was a tense moment for me.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean paraspinals are just terrible creatures, to say the least.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I'm not alone with this.
Yeah. I mean, I think every trainer our age has some story where they're just like, oh yeah, really screwed up that one. Like really screwed the pooch with this one.
Yeah, honestly, too. But I feel that's kind of like it's part of the process where you just you live and you learn.
Yeah.
It's like whatever, fuck it.
You live, you learn, you repeat the mistake. You don't know why. All right.
I love how accurate that is, man.
Let's move on to this bicep curl press here.
Yes, Baba.
All right.
Yeah. So anyhow, like I said, day 4 is more of a bonus day. Um, it's like very simple. It's like more like the first 3. It's kind of like a little circuit to basically get like a little pump kind of thing and just work some stability like with the wrist taps. But basically, bicep curl press is
Wrist tap.
mate. Like, that's not what I mean with wrist taps. It's like
Okay.
you're in a full plank position instead of doing like shoulder taps. You just touch the wrist instead.
Okay.
Yeah, that like yeah, I got you, bro. I got you. But anyhow, like bicep curl press, it's basically what it sounds like. It's like you do a bicep curl, then you turn around, boom, press up. That's it. And then you see come back down, turn, come all the way down, nice and control. Nice. Whole thing, inverted row.
Congratulations.
Same thing. This it's like I said, it's very simple. Day 4 is just like kind of just quick little circuit with 3 exercises, and then finishing out with some single leg box squats just with the eccentrics. Kind of again like because of her age, that's kind of why I just did just eccentrics. It's kind of we're talking about where because like a lot of people when they sit down in a chair, they'll either hold on to something or like they just fall down flat like that. So it's like really for her to focus on controlling that movement on the one leg, then on the other ones like doing that, and then finishing off like super sitting that with external rotation on bench. So what that is, it's that you would sit on a bench, put up your foot. I don't know like if you can see me that well right now, but then you like hold a dumbbell like here, and you like come down, and then you come back up.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
So you put your knee up on you put your foot up on the bench, and then your elbow on your knee.
Exactly.
And then you're going here, and then coming back up.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And so like also like really when you're doing it, like you don't come like where it's like you kind of go like way into rotation, like almost like with the scats, like you want to be nice and control, like not doing too much, and then coming back up.
All right.
And yeah, so basically, like I said, like day 4 is more just like B1 and B2. It's more just really focusing again like external rotation, because I feel like a lot of people, especially like her age as well, usually complain about having like in the scaps like some sort of issues, or like they're almost always rounded shoulders, like having issues with the scaps, shoulders, whatever. Just focusing again on external rotation, and the single leg box squats, just eccentrics, kind of again going back to everyday life, getting up and down from chairs, sitting there, that's So it's again, like I said, it's a bonus day. It's like if she wants to do it and she has the time and she feels good, great. If not, then she can leave and never come back.
I just want to congratulate you on picking inverted rows instead of chest supported row, because now you can't be Pat Davidson's friend. But yeah, I mean, why inverted row instead of chest supported row? I'm just curious.
I like inverted row more because I feel that at least like to start off with, then maybe I would progress it into a chest supported row. But I feel like since I already have like the single arm row, I feel that's kind of why I threw in the inverted row to flip it around for a different stimulus. But yeah, also like what do you like? I don't remember like Pat Davidson talking shit about inverted row. He's never done that.
He talks smack about the TRX row in one of his posts.
Well, oh, okay, yeah.
And I remember it just because it was hilarious. Because like some guy from TRX like invited him
to
TRX.
I remember that one.
Which was awesome. Yeah. I mean, like if he takes Rethinking the Big Patterns to the TRX headquarters, they might explode. But yeah, I mean, you know what, Artem, overall, I give this probably like on a scale from hamburger to fried dough, I'd probably give this a cucumber as a rating. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, but that doesn't mean anything, man. I thought you were gonna do a scale of hamburger to Chernobyl, So I'm glad you picked something else.
From the let's see here, from a scale of No, I'm just not. I don't know. I don't even know. I can't think of like two explosive events in history that aren't really just terrible to bring up. So we're not going to compare them.
Okay, sounds good, bro. Sounds good.
But yeah, I mean, overall, I thought it was a pretty good program. You know, I like it. You know, a lot of shoulder in there.
Wait, what? Yeah. No, again, like I said, because they think, even though she didn't like complain of anything like that, I know that a lot of people her age, they usually have issues with the scabs and just like upper extremity, kind of like shoulders.
Yeah.
Um, Usually shoulders, like there's like, always something like that, with like most people. So I feel like even like no matter the age, like people always have something with the shoulders that's like bothering them. So that's kind of why the reason behind that. So, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Man,
actually, go ahead, go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I'm actually shocked though. I thought you were gonna, go more on that type, but it's like happens every fucking time, When we're doing like the X testing a prescription as well, we're like, I'm gonna like, roast the shit, like, kind of like ask like billions of questions. You ask like one question or two, and then you just sit there satisfied, like I have nothing more to say.
Yeah.
It's like it kind of bothers me as well because like I kind of want you to ask a bunch of questions, but I'm like I want to like prove him wrong. I just like say something, just like put him in his place, or maybe even like, make a fool out of myself. You never know. It's one or the other.
Oh man. Okay. I mean, yeah, I just thought it was a good program for an old person who is just, we're not an old person, middle-aged person who's just trying to, get some motor learning going. Like I have no complaints, Artie. I mean, like one complaint I might have is that you didn't do any cardio. Like it looked like she just came in and was like, "All right, we're gonna lift the weights," which is awesome for me, but maybe not for a lady who's like trying to live long and prosper.
I honestly, I thought about that as well, but it's like again where it's like when she comes in, I only have 1 hour with her,
Mm-hmm.
so it's like say the warm up is 5-10 minutes, and then we do the workout, and then like a cool down of like also like 5-10. That leaves like at best like 50 minutes to actually work out. So it's like, and that's kind of like I don't know. I feel like I was like more focused like on the strength parts, where the cardio that can like I feel that maybe like throw it in like later on, but like in the beginning, kind of focusing on just building up like a solid base, and then throwing that in later. That's kind of how I was going about it. And then like if she wants to do something on her own on the side, then great. But like I felt it with me because like she didn't say anything about herself like doing any really sorts of cardio, but I feel like there was no really big need for that at that like this present moment, and like maybe later on for sure, definitely. But yeah, because the thing is like even for myself doing mass right now, I ran for the first time last week in like 2 months, I believe. It was weird. So that's kind of like it's like you need to do it. Like I'm not saying you need to do like a lot, but just like once a week, twice, just like some interval training, like 5 minutes, just like 30 or whatever. Just like kind of get those legs moving somehow, because otherwise like it's gonna be rough just walking upstairs, or just even like running to the bus, man. I'm like dead from running to a train. I'm like, fuck, I don't want to do it. Like even when the train is going, I'm like, I see the train, I'm like, I'm not gonna run. I'm just gonna take the next one. I don't care if I'm gonna be late. I'm gonna take the next one. It's like that's what's happened to me.
Oh my God, man, you're worse than I am.
I know, like I've become a monster, mate. I have become a monster.
You've become something, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's bad. It's bad.
Hey, buddy. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know, like, I mean, I don't know what I want to say about this.
Well, let me just say that I don't like you. I love you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it was a great performance today. We played really well, and I'm really glad to have you on my team. And I hope that we can pull a similar performance next week.
I think so. I think we could too. Except next week, we already talked about not doing it next week, you idiot.
I know, but I'm still thinking we're gonna do it.
Okay. Uh,
Well, in worst case, then people have to wait a little bit. They're gonna get a little break from us, and we're gonna be back.
exactly.
We're gonna be like Schwarzenegger in Terminator.
That's true. But yeah, do you want to intro it better than that, or do you want me to, or outro it better than that?
Well, I just want to say that one thing first. I am very, 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 very upset with the way Chelsea are playing right
Oh,
now.
sweet
I
Jesus.
just want to make that show to the whole world. Where it's like, we're awful. I know it. So please don't comment or tell me about how awful and terrible we are. I am well aware. And the only thing keeping me alive is this podcast. So if you would like to, keep listening, and please let me know how you think about it. It mean a lot, because this is my only lifeline. Besides this, I have nothing, and I don't have much to hope for.
Wow, your girlfriend's gonna be pissed. I just want to say, if you've listened this deep, thanks for coming. I know at this point it's probably just my father. I'm not wearing.
I just still listen to every episode we've done.
Oh yeah.
Wow, that's dedication, man. Thank you, Declan's father.
Exactly. And let me see what else I was gonna say. And if you're still listening and you're not dad, thank you again. It really means a lot to us that you're muddling through Artem's programming to hang out here and listen to us ramble about program design and all that stuff. I really have no idea what we're going to talk about next week, or if we're going to do it next week, because Artie is going to Finland or something, and I'm also doing something with my life. So, yeah, that's really what I got.
No, honestly, what we could do is actually never mind.
Maybe we could just talk about this once the podcast is over, so that people don't have to listen to us talk about what we're going to do next week.
I was gonna say I'm gonna do like a documentary of my trip in Finland, and that could be like, like it's kind of like a snack in between meals. So there would be like a snack in between episodes, so people can like follow me on this journey in Finland. I don't know if they want to. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen there, but yeah.
I'm not recording anything where I'm going, so.
Well, I don't know if I should, to be honest, because the wife might, she might take me behind the sauna and slaughter me. But that's actually a thing, man. I just found out, like, in Finland, if you ever go to Finland and they tell you want to go behind the sauna, you need to run, because they want to kill you.
I don't even know how to react to that.
No, I didn't know either, man. I'm just saying, like, where it's like, if you ever decide to show up to Finland, okay, you meet a person from Finland and they invite you to the sauna and they say, let's go behind the sauna. Like, they're not thinking about like having fun with you. They're actually planning on killing you. Like, so.
You know what? I think this is a great place to stop. Episode 6.
So anyhow, thank you everyone for listening once again. Thanks, Declan's dad, and everyone, all the other 4 listeners. Until next week, and if not, until next week. We're out.
Yes, we are.